This morning, the perpetrators involuntarily they made my fist turn into thumb point to myself. They made my fist ball up and my thumb point to myself, and they actually made it jerk while I was sleeping. I guess to point to myself with my thumb. There was I believe a female or a male questioning me about a crime which I never committed. And after they questioned me, they made my thumb jerk towards myself while I was still sleeping, and I was continuing sleeping after that. But they hit me with the energy weapon afterward, causing me pain, and I pass out in and out of sleep. I believe they're military, that they question people. They have to justify why you're on being talked into your head, why they're hitting you with energy weapons. And if they can't justify it, they'll lie about it. They don't have facts. They don't have who, what, when, how, where, when, etc. Any liar, you can catch them with the facts. The facts are who, what, when, where, how, and why, with what, with how much. Those are the facts. When you question anyone with these, they're going to be caught in a lie if they're lying. When you question people, you use who, what, when, where, how, and why. Who is attacking me? What are they doing? When are they doing it? Where are they doing it? How are they doing it? And why are they doing it? That's how you have to document. You get attacked by energy weapons, document who, what, when, where, how, and why. Even if you have to write that down, document like that so that the people know. What I'm going to talk about is the brain damage that they cause and how they cause it. Who's causing it? Possibly military, Air Force. They have this technology. What are they doing? Somebody called me. That's they use telepathically. They use these people to call. They get people to call at bad times when I'm documenting. They have who's doing it, the Air Force or some other type of military with electromagnetic weaponry, or some kind of scientist, NASA or something with this electromagnetic technology. They have this technology also where they scan the ground to check for hidden treasures, etc. But they hit your head instead of checking for treasures. They jump from treasures to hitting your head. So it could be military or those type of people, those type of scientists interrogating, and they believe it's military though. They control that. They act ignorant. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, put it in writing and send me a letter. You don't get letters. I filed complaints with the FBI, etc., etc. They didn't get back to me, so they're the culprits. They're the perpetrators as far as I'm concerned. Do file complaints. Not everybody's a perpetrator. As far as when I file complaints with the White House, with the Secret Service, with the NSA, NYPD, IAB, only IAB is the one that spoke to me. It was about my identity. You have to file complaints of your identity. Also, when you're the son of a New York Lotto winner and you're related to celebrities and your father owns land which may have oil in it, then you have to file a complaint with your identity. Because I believe the perpetrators like to mess with your identity to see how far they can go to stealing whatever you own or whatever you may inherit in the future. There is a term that's you're not wrapped too tight or they're not wrapped too tight. I understand what they're saying, that they say it all the time via voice to skull. This person is not wrapped too tight. That means that they have somebody on them telepathically. Like for example, my aunt, I'm here with the female. Let's say I'm here with my female friend and we're about to hug and kiss. She pops up at the door. Somebody went on her telepathically to block me from being with her. That's just an example. Or you're about to do something and then somebody comes out of nowhere and knocks something down and you have to start all over again. That person is not wrapped too tight, meaning they have somebody on them telepathically getting them to do the wrong things, or things that to obstruct your, if you question the president or etc., the antichrist. That's what he is. He's an antichrist. As soon as he came into office, they started chopping up my brain tissue. My family owns possessions and he has some military type of perpetrators probing me for fictional crimes, meaning crimes that don't even exist. They created a crime in their heads and then they probe you for it and they probe you to death and they chop up your brain tissue from the air and they try to blackmail you. If they can't blackmail you, then they blackmail or threaten your family member via voice of skull, which if you question the president about, he's going to say either he's going to lie about it or he's going to say I don't know. They abuse this technology, the energy weapons they abuse, and they abuse the voice to skull, and they call it mental illness after they abuse it. They're corrupted. I believe they use the technology to traffic women to themselves, like Bill Clinton. He allows people to traffic all kinds of women. In the 90s, I couldn't get any females for some reason. could not get any females, and they were stealing money from my brother. My brother fell into a scam where my brother's a homosexual. He came in contact with a guy who knew about the money. We all inherited money from my mother who passed away in a car accident. When she died, we inherited like $10,000 each of my brothers, 4 brothers, from the life insurance. So we got $10,000. Somebody knew this. They got this information, possibly the Voice of Skull. They went in. They tried to get money from me. The person was his name. I think he called himself Kevin Ackerman. Is possibly organized crime. He went to my brother and then he tried to invest. He said, "Oh, we can invest the money in stocks and everything, and we can build it and etc." Stock market is a scam. Don't ever invest your money in any kind of stock, because they all collect your money and then they, oh, Black Friday, and then your money's gone. That's how they're all collectively thieves. So they want you to pile your money together and watch it grow, and they're gonna steal it somehow. I never heard of anybody that I know make money off of stocks. It's a scam to put your money into their pool so that they can lie about it and steal your money. Don't trust the government. They're corrupted. Well, this kid's promised my brother, oh, we can invest in this and that and stock, and my brother fell for it. My brother gave him, I think, $10,000 or close to $10,000, probably 8,000. I don't know how much money he gave him. First he befriended my brother, then he pretended to be homosexual, his boyfriend. I don't think he was a homosexual because he was talking to females. He pretended to be homosexual, so they befriend you. They be anything you want. They'll be anything you want, and then they run a scam to try to make your money grow. They want your money, and when I guess my brother gave him his money, and he then fed my brother with his own money. Like, he would take him out, oh, let's go out to dinner, and he's still giving you the trust, and then he slowly backs away. He's feeding my brother with his own money. I saw him taking out my brother and say, oh, come on, let's go to dinner, and then he slowly backs away, and all of a sudden he's gone, and my brother lost like thousands of dollars. So there's scam artists like that, even with the Voice of Skull. That's how they traffic females. They befriend you and they talk nice, or they pretend to be helping, and then they try to trick the females. Don't fall into that. Don't pay attention to the voices. I know sometimes you can't stop hearing them, but don't follow any instructions, because they're scam artists. If they blackmail you, that's a crime. If they cause you physical pain with energy weapon, that's a crime. If they talk in your head and they try to trick you, that's a crime. That's a fraud by radio. So they got 3 crimes on them once they file a complaint of those 3 crimes to the FBI, etc. Those are 3: assault with a deadly instrument or a deadly weapon, fraud by radio, and blackmail. You can file those complaints to the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover Building, etc. Those are 3 crimes that you don't have to say what they blackmail. I feel threatened and blackmailed. Just file a complaint at least once so that the law enforcement can lock people up if you feel threatened. Because this Antichrist, when he came into office, they chopped up my brain tissue, and he hired organized crime after organized crime. The signs of brain damage are fungus on the nails or memory loss. Like if you put something down and you can't totally remember where you put an item down. Once you place it, you walk away and your mind just can't remember where the item is. There's possibly brain damage. I have a theory that there's different type females have this certain type of brain damage, which the males are able to control them, and they're able to control the female to control the male, like Adam and Eve. The devil talked into her head, or they talked to her, and then when she was deceived, she then lured her husband into deception. So they use that tactic, the same tactic. They chop up the females' brains, they have them chasing after the world, and then when the females chasing after the world, they have the males following the female, chasing after the world. So it's a theory that they chopped up the females' brains, and a certain area where they're using telepathic technology. It helps when they chop up your brain, the technology works better. They're able to have less mobility, and they're able to take control over your life, like your body, not your life. But it can be your life, but if you don't follow God, they'll take control over your life. I follow God, I read the Bible, I don't sin, then I'm able to control my life. You use God's word. If you don't use it, they're going to give you evil desires, and it can be harmful to you. It can be harmful to you and get you into a lot of trouble. So don't follow your your evil desires. Either you follow God or you're going to follow that telepathic technology, which is you're not aware of. You're a slave to either or. And I'm not lying about the technology. They really exist. They chop up people's brains and they guide them. Even decisions in let's say I wanted a cup of coffee. They give you these desires. So either follow God or follow the perp. You don't have any control. If you follow God, then you can sense the perpetrators. That's why I said follow God. Learn from God. You say that God doesn't exist. I found fossils of sea life in the mountains here in Puerto Rico, Mocha, Puerto Rico. I found fossils of sea life on the mountain, stuck in the mountain. I'm going to post a video soon showing the seashells stuck in the mountain and showing how high the mountain is. The government lies about the Bible. The Bible is true. Jesus spoke about the Bible flood. That means Jesus spoke the truth. Everything Jesus says is a fact that Jesus spoke the truth. Everything that Jesus says is the truth. He knows psychology better than any psychologist. If you read and you study, you know all psychology in the world. Some of the things you don't need to know, which the government says, let's investigate how this happens and let's investigate how that happens. You don't need to know. He already tells you what's in a man. You don't have to go further to check. But they seem to push buttons. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, because they like to trick females. They particularly like trafficking females with this. And don't follow means don't follow any voice to skull instructions or any instructions. If you're blackmailed, file a complaint. If you're threatened, file a complaint. I suggest doing it through a letter. Don't go there in person because they like to act like you're crazy. Oh, we don't know what you're talking about. Be aware that they force me to say once, which is involuntary. Just be aware that the perpetrators like to pretend that I'm answering questions. They're criminal voice to skull questions. They don't know the facts. Tell them to write down the facts and I'll sign the facts. They like to interrogate. I'm innocent, they're guilty. I have facts. I file complaints with the FBI. I show them brain damage they caused. They have to send me a letter. They don't send me a letter with the fact questions that they have and I could sign yes or no, etc. If this or that. They don't do that. The perpetrators like to interrogate from the air without facts, and they like to pretend that I'm answering their voice to skull questions, and then they say, you see, that's why we have them on here. No, where are the facts? Without facts, who's the victim at the recent event? They will be caught in a lie just by that alone. These perpetrators like to pretend whatever you did when you were younger is something present, which is not the case, because they have to come up with a victim, and they will be flat out lying. And when they flat out lie, they have no consequences, and they repeat the same things over and over and over. And I have to justify myself over and over because it comes with energy weapons. The perpetrator likes to spread rumors, or he's on this, or they imply through media, or he's on this because of this or that or the other. They like to threaten without facts. There might be some faults in people's lives, but there's no crime. And the faults that I have, they're when I was younger. Everything I did when I was younger. They make up stories if they can't find anything. Or they start blackmailing, looking at your family's history, and then blackmailing your family jail time. And I don't care. You can't worry about your family. You have to have that I don't care attitude. You're not going to blackmail me. You're not going to blackmail me. You're not going to threaten me. They might cause you physical pain. There's nothing you can do about it or file complaints. But you're not going to blackmail me, and you're not going to threaten me. I don't feel threatened by you. And where are the facts? Even if you have faults, where are the facts? You blackmail me, that's a crime. That means you're a criminal trying to blackmail me. Once they blackmail you, you feel threatened, or they hit you with energy weapons, they're criminals. They're organized crime.